He was everything she ever wanted. Not in the cheesy romantic comedy way. Not the fantasy she used to daydream about as a teenager. He was real, flawed, beautifully human, and still, somehow, perfect for her. They met at a backyard barbecue thrown by mutual friends. She didn't even want to go. Work had drained her. She was still getting over a breakup that left her feeling invisible. But she showed up anyway. Just for an hour, she told herself. He walked in late, carrying a tray of slightly burnt brownies and a crooked smile. He had this easy energy, like nothing really rattled him. They started talking by the drink table. She doesn't even remember what about. Something dumb, something light. But they clicked. She went home with his number. 3 days later, they had coffee, then dinner. Then a long walk that turned into an accidental all-nighter, sitting on a park bench until sunrise, talking about everything and nothing. From that point on, they were a thing. Slowly, then suddenly, their lives just merged. 4 years later, he proposed. She said yes before he finished the question. The wedding was set for October. A moody, magical autumn wedding with candlelight and rust-colored florals. She had the dress, the Pinterest board, calligraphy tags for the tables. Everyone was excited. She was happy. And then, she took a DNA test. It was supposed to be fun, a gift from a coworker. "You're adopted, right? Don't you want to find out your roots?" they said. It felt harmless, like a novelty. She was curious, sure, but not obsessed. She spit in the tube, mailed it off, forgot about it. 3 weeks later, the results came in, and at the top of her DNA match list was his name. At first, she laughed, genuinely. It had to be a mistake, a glitch in the database. Maybe they shared some far-off ancestry, something like fourth cousins, right? Nope. It said half-sibling, 49.8% shared DNA. She stared at the screen for hours, refreshed the page, closed the tab, reopened it. Maybe if she blinked hard enough, reality would fix itself. It didn't. She told him, quietly, hesitantly. "Hey, this is weird, but I took one of those DNA tests, and look who it matched me with." He froze. They both did. Time stopped. They did more digging, quietly, secretly. They didn't want to believe it until they had to. Records, family history, birthplaces, hospital names, names they barely remembered. Her birth mother had never told anyone who the father was. His mother had, but only to a few people. A name, a man she'd met when she was young, a man who, it turned out, had a reputation for disappearing. Same man, different women, same blood. She felt sick. Physically sick. She wanted to crawl out of her own body, out of this timeline, out of a reality that didn't make sense anymore. Her first instinct was to run. End it. Burn the whole thing down before the fire consumed her. But she didn't. Because here's the truth no one wants to hear. She was still in love with him. The love didn't vanish just because a number on a screen said they were related. The memories didn't fade. The feelings didn't unwrite themselves. She still remembered how he held her when her dog died, how he danced with her in the kitchen, how he said her name like it mattered. What do you do when the person you love becomes the one person you're not allowed to love? She didn't have an answer. Neither did he. They paused the wedding, told friends and family that something came up. No one asked questions. Everyone assumed they'd get back on track. But inside their home, things were quiet. Not tense, not angry. Just heartbreakingly quiet. They slept in separate rooms, spoke in whispers, avoided eye contact like the truth might leap out of their mouths and destroy everything, and yet they couldn't stay away. One night turned into a shared bottle of wine. That turned into tears. That turned into holding each other, clinging like two people drowning in the same ocean. Because this love was never wrong. It wasn't planned. It just was. They hadn't chosen their biology. They'd chosen each other. Long before they knew what connected them, they considered telling people. But how? How do you explain you accidentally fell in love with your half-brother? How do you say, "We didn't know," and expect the world to understand? Would they listen? Or just hear the word incest and stop caring? Some days, she thinks about running, just leaving, changing their names, moving to a country where no one knows them, starting over as strangers in love again. But that would mean hiding forever, lying forever. And deep down, she's tired of hiding. They don't know what comes next. Maybe they break up. Maybe they redefine the love into something else. Maybe they cross that line again. Maybe they marry in secret. Maybe they don't. But right now, they're still in each other's lives, still tethered by something deeper than DNA, something that feels a lot like fate and a little like tragedy.